In January, I decided that I was going to go on a weight loss journey, mostly out of necessity. I was so overweight, I was exhausted all the time. I couldn't even get up the stairs without losing my breath. I probably couldn't lift more than 15 pounds. If I tried to do any type of physical activity, I would have to sit down and rest. I was always out of breath. And it's because I was walking around with basically the weight of another person attached to my body. I'd been to the doctor, my medical tests weren't great. I was probably borderline diabetic. I had fatty liver disease. I had sleep apnea because the weight would push down on me at night and I wasn't sleeping properly. And that also led to me having absolutely no energy. How did I get that big? Well, I think every woman in your 40s will definitely understand how I got there. I had a career in radio and in broadcasting, and I was working long hours. I wasn't sleeping properly, and I was throwing everything I had at that job. I put myself last, put my sleep last, my mental health last, my diet last. I mean, it was whatever I could get quick, takeout. I was doing that. I was eating crap, and every year I'd gain another 5 pounds or another 10 pounds, and then before you know it, you're big. I mean, we all have been there. I used to actually not even really care about my appearance. I actually thought that, wearing makeup and wearing nice clothes and having a little bit of confidence when I went out into the world, I looked down on that. I thought that it would make me conceited. And so I thought being humble was to give to everyone and put myself absolutely last. And ladies, that's wrong. It's just totally wrong to not care about yourself, to not put your best face in the world when you step out that door. You might be raising kids, or you're looking after aging parents or aging grandparents or husband or whatever it is, and everybody's pulling you every which way and you barely have any time for yourself. I'm telling you right now, you have to make time for yourself. You are important and you're worth it. So that's the first lesson in your weight loss journey, is to make time for yourself. Make time for yourself to work out. Make time for yourself to eat properly. Put foods in your body that are going to help you and not set you back.
That's how I lost weight, by walking. And when I was super overweight, I couldn't do anything. There wasn't a single exercise that I could do. I was too fat. One thing I could do was walk. When I started, I couldn't even walk the row of houses. Every day, I would walk one house, 2 houses, and I would keep it up. And I would just keep going. And every day I would count one more house. And that was my goal. And then suddenly, I was past the houses. And I was all the way down to the bridge. And then I was all the way down to Huron Road. Then I was all the way down to Red Bay. And I just walked. And also watching what I ate, of course.
And I guess the best parts about my walks are how quiet they are. And I think to have a healthy body, you have to have also a healthy mind. And if there was ever anything, eating at me or bothering me, I just literally, as I say, walk it off. And I could walk all day. And by the time I got home, I wouldn't even know what I was worried about when I left the house. It's just kind of like me time, right? It's important to get the blood flowing, to work out, to exercise, but also just to heal your mind and put your mind at rest. I think that was probably one of the most important things that I did in my weight loss journey, was take care of everything, body and mind. And hide from people.
When it came to my diet, you're not going to lose weight even if you exercise. So yes, I did a lot of walking, but if you're not in a calorie deficit, you're not going to lose weight. I'm not recommending you do this. I had to lose the weight really fast because I had to be able to lift the potato bags at the food truck and I couldn't physically do it. Stuck to 800 calories a day, and I kept a food journal of everything I ate. No processed foods, no breads, no rice, no sugar. I ate raw foods and natural foods, fruit and vegetables, leafy greens, eggs, canned tuna. I fasted between 4 p.m. and 10 a.m. The old me would start snacking right after supper. I'd have a huge supper and then I'd snack on chips and all kinds of things through the night. And then I get up in the morning and I'd have a great big breakfast, usually pancake, eggs, toast, nothing healthy there. The old me used to live to eat, and the new me was eating to live. I made my diet as unappetizing and as boring as possible. I wouldn't look forward to it. It was just going to be something that I had to do to survive. You're going to gain it all back unless you start to change your habits. I drank lots of water, and yes, for a treat, I would have Diet Pepsi because it was sweet and it was something I could have. And lots of coffee, black coffee. The other thing I did when I started my diet is I went through everything in my cupboards, crackers, cereal, anything like that. I threw it out, Pop-Tarts, you name it. I knew losing weight and dieting was almost going to be like I had an addiction. And there were nights where I would come down the stairs and I would rip that cupboard apart, hoping to find something that I could snack on and something junky. And I didn't have anything. So it was such a letdown. And that's how I kept myself focused. And if I wanted to have a treat and it wasn't much of a treat, say like something that was a bit dessert-like, I would get some of this E.D. Smith pure pumpkin. I'm not talking about the pumpkin pie filling that's got the sugar and all the spices in it. I mean, I'm talking about the 100% raw pumpkin. And I'll just show you calorie-wise. A third of a cup is around 30 calories. It's literally solid fiber, okay? So it's super good for your digestion. When you're eating a lot of protein, you're going to want to push your fiber. I would just add Splenda to this and I would cook it in the oven. Maybe add a little bit of cottage cheese to it, a little bit of cinnamon and some nutmeg. And it was almost dessert-like. Almost. Not quite. It wasn't great, okay? But it fit my plan and it was something. So I'm 5'5". My waist is 34 inches, my chest is now 42 inches, and my hips are 45 inches, which means I've lost 20 inches off my waist, 15 inches off my chest, and 15 inches off my hips. Just to give you a little more visual, because it's kind of hard to see, but this is my winter coat that I wore for years. It's a size 28. I just want to show you how big this coat is, and this was tight on me. Like this is what I used to be, and I mean this was like we're talking that far, right? So anyway, I think that's visually kind of puts it in perspective. So that concludes my first weight loss video for you. In the next videos, I'm going to talk a little bit about more in-depth things like recipes, and then also when I started to lose the weight, what exercises I was able to start fitting in. I really couldn't do much exercise-wise until I'd lost my first 20 pounds, my first 30 pounds. Once I got that weight off, my back and my knees and my joints were able to move a lot easier. It was a lot easier on my heart because my heart wasn't laboring with that extra weight. In the next couple of videos in the next few weeks, we'll kind of go over some of the things that I did as I progressively lost the weight. I just wanted to remind you all, I didn't take any supplements. I didn't take any kind of diet bars or anything like that. And I had the most basic of exercise equipment in the house. So we'll get into that a little more in depth. And thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And I promised I'd do it. So I'll keep going. Bye.